Hey guys, I'm Fancy.
Hey everyone, I'm Sarah.
And welcome back to The Good Wives. And what you just watched was the opener to our upcoming documentary series on Gypsy Rose and Nicholas and Dee Dee Blanchard. We're hoping that we will go into filming later this year and have our first episode out for you guys sometime early 2025. I'm hoping for spring. It just depends on how fast we're able to get into production and finish this like we need to, because it's time. It's really time for the world to know the truth of what really happened to Dee Dee Blanchard.
Yes, ma'am.
So, but tonight is our weekly Friyay Dipsy Dump.
Yay! Happy TGIF, everybody. I hope you guys have had a good week and you've got fun plans for the weekend. Tomorrow, don't forget, is the Preakness horse race. It will be there in Maryland. We've got the Black Eyed Susans for the flower choice. This is the second leg of the Triple Crown, and Mystic Dan is racing again.
Absolutely. And he won last time. So I think that we should probably bet something this time. I don't know, but
yeah, I'm excited to see what what his odds are gonna be going off in this race and what post position he's drawn.
Sure. All right, guys. Well, yes, obviously we're working on the documentary, which is much more serious. I just finished up a live with you guys just about half an hour ago, covering chromosome disorder and more of the more case specific things about this, about Gypsy and Nick and Dee Dee and the rest of the crew. But this is our time to just kind of let our hair down, cut loose, and we're going to talk all about the craziness of what she has done today. Oh, Angel Ann, thank you for telling me, because guess what, guys? I've got that picture, and we're going to talk about it.
Oh, did somebody else, is this the picture that I picked up on?
Mm-hmm.
Immediately, I was like, copycat.
All right, well, let's look here. So, hold on. I wanted to have just that up. Okay, there we go. Now I can do it. All right, so here we go. And I'm gonna make it big for a minute for you guys to look at it. This is Gypsy's latest Instagram post. By the way, I think it's very interesting. This account only has 35,000 followers. Literally, not 300,000. It was 35,000, I believe, when I looked at it. Let me look at it again. Oh, I'd have to close it out. Hold on. Let's see. 35,000 on this account. She had an account that had millions. So, you know, but here she is. And it states, if you can't read it, my medical records. Healing is not linear. It begins with acceptance. Hashtag Munchausen by proxy.
Oh my gosh. You cannot have the chromosome disorder and Munchausen by proxy. It's one or the other.
Right. Well, if you think that photo's hilarious, Melissa, let me give you the next one. So you see what she's done here. She's laid out all of her medical records and she's sitting in this circle and she's, reflecting, and it's just such a terrible time for her. Right. Here we go.
She could have read those in prison. She could have had them memorized in 8 years.
Yeah, I'm aware. She probably did. Okay, hold on. Here's the next picture. You're going to love this. This is from the hit show
True Detective on HBO Max. Night Country was just this last season. There's Jodie Foster going through files of evidence. As soon as I saw Gypsy's picture, I was like, copycat. That's from True Detective.
Well, she doesn't have an original thought in her head. So, she's just, I don't know. I can't. But yeah, guys, so that's what we're opening up with. Gypsy Rose. Which one is it, love? Bree's admitting that you have a chromosome disorder, which we all know you have, which she denied and made fun of me for. All of you did for months now. But you've got Munchausen. Your mom had Munchausen by proxy too. How? Every condition can be explained by your chromosome disorder, babe. You know this. Christy knows this. Rod knows this. The doctors knew this. And the world is going to know this. The world. I just want you to know, the world is going to know this. The whole world. The whole world. So which one is it? Because I know which one it is. But I'm not sure your followers do.
Well, we've got Nina talking about it, and we've got Bree. She started in on it last week, and we know how that turned out when she was filming with the camera rolling on her search engine history.
What the fuck? What is wrong with this crew? Okay, look. Can we just go back to the Natasha days where we slung it out on Facebook over some text messages? This new crew of yo-yos is killing me. I've never seen such a collection of stupid people in my life. And I don't like talking about people like that. I don't want to call them that. I don't want to be rude to them. I don't care about them. But what I do care is about the misinformation, the lies, the bullying, and the bullshit that you are just spewing out there into the universe. And I think it's really interesting that you pulled the pornocopia on us, and then immediately a video surfaces of your search engine history with porn in it.
Exactly. That's what I said. I said, okay, well, a lot of people are like contributing that search engine history, what it was. They're thinking that it has something to do with oh God, stepmom.
They think it has something to do with the stepmom? Oh, yeah. You know what? I thought that was freaking, okay, look, I thought that was in poor taste. Bringing Christy into it like that and making it something that it clearly is, whatever, with Christy involved. I didn't think that was appropriate. I really didn't. I didn't think it was funny.
Right.
I think it's appropriate.
That was what we found from Nina's, because we found it from Nina's account. She had it up first, and she said, isn't Christy an older woman? Wouldn't you consider her an older woman? I would. And she was like, but I'll let you guys, just figure this out on your own. And I was like, okay, yeah. I mean, she does say that she's best friends with Christy. She says she talks to her a lot more than Gypsy. She talks to Gypsy, she claims, only a couple times a month, but she talks to Christy 3 to 4 times a day, which I don't know about that because, when does she talk to her? When she's doing 24-hour lives? But my mind immediately went to, we just had this porn prank pulled on us.
Right.
And why would you be looking that up on YouTube anyway?
Right. And that came right on the butt of the suicide attempt hoax, the suicide hoax. This has become to a point of just, are you kidding me with this? This is what you all are resorting to, because you can't get rid of me by bullying me, and you can't get rid of me by scaring me, and you can't get rid of me by taking all of my friends and my ex-partners who did no things to ever further our company whatsoever. Not a single one of them. Sorry, not sorry. You didn't do your jobs, or we would have figured this out a long damn time ago.
Right. It was like, take Colleen down with trying to get her medical license removed. Take me down with Sarah Jane because Bryce did send that. Right. Go real life on me, dox me, my family, the baby, and all that stuff. And then, then they, Bryce, which we know is Sarah Jane, sent you that letter blaming it on me. So primarily, so it was, we had that, and then we had, the cornucopia The Cornopolis.
Just made me, it's like, are you in junior high?
Well,
I mean, that's something a junior high schooler pulls.
maybe, but this is something that it is so serious and it's so illegal. And I still can't believe that Twitter's got it up and they're playing it uncensored. That blows my mind. I mean, the hoax and the prank are so utterly illegal.
Yeah, definitely. And we're going to be pursuing that for sure.
It's a lot more serious than people realize. I mean, we could have lost everything. We could have been, going to jail because
we could have been swatted, for Christ's sake.
Could have been, yeah, exactly. Because Bree was telling everybody, she was calling us murderers and telling everybody to report us to the police because we caused Sarah Jane to, unalive herself. So, I mean, it's like, are you kidding me? It's a lot more serious than people realize. And then, we could all still be dealing with some kind of legal repercussions from the porn prank because it's still out there, and they can bring it right back to us and arrest us for showing pornography on uncensored on the internet, which is so illegal.
I thought it was pretty bad when Natasha got me out of bed for the suicide murder hoax, and then we disproved that, and the very next day we've got the cornucopia. Like, what is wrong with you? Something is seriously wrong with these people. Something is seriously wrong with all of her followers. I mean, seriously, morally defunct, morally bankrupt, trash can people.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still overwhelmed by it because, this is National Suicide Awareness Prevention Month. And, we know that suicide is an epidemic in our nation, and there's not one of us that has not been affected by it. And, like I told you, what I've been going through personally with the loss of my godson. And then I told you just a couple of days ago, my niece's best friend's uncle took his life. So it's very tragic. I mean, they're dealing with his funeral this weekend.
Jeez, I'm so sorry, Sarah. That's just hard.
Yeah, it is hard. And then I'm still I'm very concerned about somehow getting a call from the police about this porn prank.
Yeah, I'm aware. I mean, but to be fair, they're the ones sharing it. So we did our job. We took it down. I have to edit it and put it back up again, which I've not gotten a chance to do because, we were talking about the Adam Montgomery trial, and it was right in the back of his sentencing.
Yeah.
And he up for court for the entire process, and he's forced to come to court for sentencing in the death and brutal murder, torture of a 5-year-old child, his own 5-year-old daughter. And then we're finishing that up. We weren't even going to cover that case, and one of our mods brought it to us. And we cover the case, end that, go back to trying to talk about freaking Micah Miller. And here we are with they took the names of our freaking followers, one of our mods and then one of our followers, and then a woman who's another content creator on a whole nother channel that wasn't even in town at the time, and tried and did this. And it was sick. Celeste was one of the freaking victims of this, and it's bullshit, man.
Right. And you can actually go, the other content creator that they pulled this prank on is Veda, and we actually did an interview with her because she wanted to know how she had got drugged into this prank, and she also was able to provide us with the Twitter screen recording showing it in its entirety. So she was like, because there were other content creators saying that we made it up, or we did it to ourselves. And she was like, well, I can debunk that, so here's this. And then she was like, we also, need to address this suicide hoax. And so you guys can go to her channel and listen to our interview, debunking the suicide hoax, and also discussing the prank and getting all of that cleared up. So last week was rough.
It was a hard week. This has been a long week. This week has just been, it's been long.
It's been, yeah.
And you know what? It started off with that damn fucking Mother's Day post.
Oh, the Mother's Day post. I'm telling you what, I don't think there's hardly anybody that I have seen that is not talked about how even her followers were like, well, it's kind of distasteful. But I saw some comments that were just awful. They were like, yeah, because she said, well, I hope my mom's proud of me. And people were like, yeah, she's looking up at you. Don't worry, she's not looking down on you. And I was like, that's crappy.
I'm so frustrated with how villainized she has made her mother in all of this. It has become abundantly clear to me. Yeah, where can we see the video of Gypsy cutting her hair with nail clippers? I put it on my TikTok. I don't know if it's still up because she keeps hitting me with guidelines. I got 3 of them today for videos that were not legal in any way, shape, or form. One right after the other. They even reported the freaking report that I showed where they reported me.
Oh my gosh.
I couldn't even appeal that one at all. Like, literally, I posted that they reported me, and then they reported that, and TikTok took that down too. And then when I went to go and appeal it, there was no appeal process.
Wow.
I'm getting very irritated with TikTok. I'm telling you. It's just a trash fucking platform, in my opinion. And this fact that they're hiding behind freaking, First Amendment rules and laws and trying to claim their First Amendment rights in our country, despite the fact that it's owned in China. And, he's sitting here going, our First Amendment rights to have this platform aren't going to be silenced. Well, they're not your First Amendment rights, but the people on your platform have First Amendment rights, and you are silencing First Amendment rights. Left and right.
Hey, I got hit with a ban just because I made a comment saying that, the reason why TikTok is hitting everyone with these violations and took down our account is because it was anti-Gypsy Rose, and Gypsy Rose makes TikTok too much money. And I got hit on a violation for that comment. But it's true. They're making a fortune.
On every violation. Today, everything I put out about the chromosome disorder today got hit with community guidelines, despite it just being actual, just truth evidence. Yep. Oh yeah. No, they've been in full force. They have been in full force.
But Breeze talked about it, and she didn't get hit with it. And Nina talked about it, and she didn't get hit with it.
Angel Ann, I don't know that you can get her banned, but here's what you can do. The Gen X movement has started on TikTok. I am a Gen Xer. I am a proud Gen Xer. All right. We don't give a fuck about nobody's feelings. We don't give a flying fadoodle if it makes you feel safe, not safe, if your little crybaby tears are coming down. We just don't care about that. What we care about is our country, facts, evidence, truth, justice. That's what our generation was taught and brought up on. And so they have started a block train on TikTok. And it's the Blackout 2024. Gypsy Rose, by many different people, has been added to that now. What you can do is block her and every single person who follows her and supports her, any celebrities that have endorsed her. I started last night with Paris Hilton. I put out a video showing you exactly how to go to TikTok. Even if you don't follow them, you can search their name, type it in, and block them. That sends a message to the algorithm. If they are blocked and blocked and blocked and blocked and blocked, their following will eventually fall away. You can report the videos that they put out that are bullying. Nothing else. Don't report regular videos, please. We don't want to play their games. But that's how we can do it. And we can do this on every platform. We can make sure that these people don't keep getting noticed. That's what you can do.
I mean, and you guys...
Why am I still on TikTok? Because it's the largest fucking platform right now. And I have to set aside my problems with TikTok, and I have many, and just try to focus on the fact that we need to get the truth out in a massive, massive way.
I actually am looking at
has been helping me do that.
I'm actually looking at the comments right now. Somebody mentioned Demi Lovato. Actually, from what I was told, Demi Lovato removed her comment of support.
She did. Yes, block her on everything, and boycott all the celebrities who support her, starting with Paris Hilton. Okay? I'm serious. This is how we do it, folks, and we continue to push out the truth. That's it. That's how we take it back. That's what we have to do.
Block out 2024.
Block out 2024. Block out. Okay?
So back to the Mother's Day post. There's some interesting things in that post that we wanted to discuss. One thing I brought to Fancy's attention about 2 weeks ago, I said, I've seen all the manipulation from Gypsy. I've seen the lies. I've seen, just all of her crap. I've seen it all, but there's something different about her right now. I see a meanness in her face and her comments and her attitude. It has completely shifted since she's been with Ken. And I said, have you noticed this? And she said, yes, he absolutely brings out the worst in her. And you can see that so clearly at the beginning of the Mother's Day post, where she says, if you guys want to badmouth me, that's fine. You do it on your own page. You're not going to do it here. I don't give a F. And then she says, you guys got me on that, or something to that effect. And she does this head nod thing, got me. Okay. And it was like so mean, just mean. There's just a meanness in her that is just really come out lately.
We talked about this. Well, we talked about this, and I talked about the first time I met Ken, the first time I heard about Ken, and how much Ken created problems for Gypsy herself, for me and Christy, and how he has this effect on her. I truly believe that, I had, up until Ken came on scene, I had a decent relationship with Gypsy. I talked to her on a regular basis, several times a week, usually. She was very happy about the project. She was excited about all of it. She wanted to participate. And we were doing great. And then Ken came on scene, and from the moment that man stepped foot into her life, it became one shit show after another. And it showed immediately the pattern that she did not want me to figure out. And the pattern is her pattern of obsession with these men. She is obsessed with them. I was told today on the earlier live that Dan's roommate literally called her obsessed with him, and that he said that she would not leave him alone, that they did not, he did not want her to come to his apartment. He did not want to go to Arkansas with her. She just had it in her mind. Now, I think he continued to use her from 2000 and whatever, I think he met her in 2009, but he's, they say 2011, which means that's another man in 2009 that she was sexually engaging.
Caught with another man she was caught with.
Right, in his 30s and 40s or whatever the heck he was. I think he was really a lot older than that. If it's that guy in the picture, if it's the stormtrooper guy in the picture, that guy looks like he's in his 50s.
Right, looks way too old. He already had white hair.
He
But
looked
the
way
thing,
cool to be standing there in that picture with her from the first place. It just seemed odd.
but a lot of people don't realize. I noticed last night when you were on Morbid's channel, they did not, which was a great interview. You guys, like, I think this was Fancy's very best interview of this entire year, probably one of her best interviews ever. And so you guys can check it out on his channel. But they were very shocked to know that she had been in a relationship and had been working on Nick for 3 years. But even though she was in an online relationship with Nick, during that time period, she was in a physical relationship with Dan and other men.
Yes. Yes.
And I don't know what it is that, if you guys think back to the beginning of the year when she got out and she was with Ryan, we can see a complete different shift in her attitude and her behavior from when she was with Ryan to the way she is now that she's back with Ken.
Right, but just remember we have the wrong Dan, of course, because Bree, and she's already looking for Dan, according to Bree. She got Bree looking for him. So the obsession is real. When I tell you about patterns in this case, guys, and I tell you about these people, patterns, I'm going to beat it into your all's head. Patterns, recognize the patterns. Because that was what I saw. Like, as soon as I saw Ken and the effect he was having on her and the things that were happening between her and me and Christy and me and Ken and all of it, with the Natasha saga and him running his mouth all over social media when he's trying to pretend like he doesn't want anybody to know who he is. It was just, I could see this pattern of obsession. She had an obsession. He was her man. He was all she needed. She should be, her words, I should be rocking in a corner from everything that has happened to me, but all I need is Ken.
Why does he make her so mean?
I think because he's a mean guy. He's a douche. He's an asshole. I can't stand the guy.
I'm starting to wonder if he could possibly be an alcoholic, because Bree claims he was drunk when they went on Natasha's live, and we saw him drinking at Jazz Fest.
He's a bartender. Need I say more?
Right, exactly.
I was a bartender. Okay, listen. Some bartenders drink, some bartenders don't. I was a bartender that didn't. I would have a drink once in a while after work, get shit-faced after work, sure. But on the job, no. But I'm telling you what, I know Ken well enough to know that he's the bartender that drinks and drinks heavily. That's my opinion. And I think she's drinking too. I think she was inebriated that night too, to be honest.
Well, I mean, she shouldn't even be anywhere that serves or sells alcoholic beverages. I mean, that is a probation violation. And, where are these random drug and alcohol tests? I mean, are they ever going to give her one?
No.
I mean, her probation officer is doing nothing.
Congratulations on your 2 years sober. That's a good start, babe. Good job.
Congratulations.
There's nothing wrong with having a drink. I have a drink every once in a while. I'll drink a margarita. I'll drink a wine cooler. I'll drink a glass of wine. Even with my condition where I shouldn't drink it very often, I have to take it in moderation. I have to make sure that I haven't taken an intake of too many carbs during the week when I decide to drink something, But it should be a parole violation. And he is not a good influence on her. He never has been. I went round and around with him and Christy over and over about him, how much I did not think he was good for her. I felt like he was going to use her. I felt like he was in it for the money, the fame, the whole thing. And I think that's all he's in it for it now. You cannot tell me that he thinks that she's just some hot Barbie bimbo.
No, not at all. He sees dollar signs. And he had a post up last week. It was screenshotted into one of the groups that I'm in anti-gypsy groups. And he said to her, and I quote, "I love every single piece and part of you."
You mean the part that killed her mama too?
Right, which we still got to go back to the Mother's Day. Yeah, no proof of that.
Oh, the Mother's Day post.
Who violate community
She said
standards.
she's going to keep reporting people who violate community standards because she's a great social media citizen.
Oh yes, she is the model for social media. I mean, are you kidding me? She's come out and done every possible
Go back to the
thing.
Mother's Day post.
But she has come back. You know what, guys? Since she's been out,
Before,
she has been a PR nightmare.
that's hilarious. Okay, I want you guys to see this. I don't know if you can see. No, you can't. Hold on. I got you. Hold on. Before we go back to the Instagram post that she has, or the Mother's Day post that she has now deleted because, you know,
she did?
there's remorse. Oh, yeah, she deleted it.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You know, she also said she was, guess what? She also said, I'm turning off the comments, right? But she didn't.
Yep. But she didn't because she's an idiot. She limited them, though. Okay. So here is one day ago. So yesterday, this was her post, and I just am flabbergasted. I don't understand how in the world that anyone sees these things and is just like, yeah, that's great. Let me comment and tell how, you know, what you're doing. This is it. This was her post. The best revenge is none. Heal, move on, and don't become like those who hurt you.
Right, that's her Instagram post. I love that. What was that? What was that comment up there? Well, you did mass report. What was that? Well, you did mass report
comments claiming they were death threats. Then you deleted the post altogether. If you call that moving ahead, okay. But you're all up in the comments of people's videos and in lives. You might want to look in the mirror because it's not looking good for you. What? Well, now you figure that out. Oh, I like that one. Oh, here's an idiot, you know. So true, queen. These people that call her queen just piss me off.
Right. I know.
Windshield is bigger than the rear view mirror for a reason, Gypsy. Oh, well put, Gypsy. We all love you, and anything negative that you may see or hear, just ignore it. Fucking face. Just shoot me in the face. Just full on, just right in the face. My face is melting off from just the stupidity of this.
And you know, another thing on the Mother's Day comment, because we're going to get into that.
Nicole. I knew it was you. I want to know what she replied to you. Oh, let's see. She did reply. Oh, so I should let people get away. Oh, I saw this. With violating basic social media standards. Absolutely not. These are guidelines in place for a reason. If I get a message that tells me they want to harm me, yes, I will report every single one of those messages. Wow.
Isn't it amazing that, like, all of a sudden she's getting a new hoax put on her the week after we had an actual one? I have seen other than people maybe sending her some DM messages, I have not seen any posts anywhere threatening her life.
Never one. She's made posts threatening other people.
Well, she basically put a hit out on you.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah. Calling me tyrannical.
I mean, she asked everyone to take you down off of social media, off of every platform. And, you know, all it takes is one of these crazy people obsessed with her, delusional, thinking, oh, this fancy is hurting my queen. I'm going to do this for Gypsy and, you know, knock on your door with a gun. You know, I mean, people are crazy these days.
to sleep with both eyes open. I don't think Christy should ever sleep again.
Somebody, I love
Like,
the post
literally.
that everybody was like, Mother's Day must be weird AF in that house. And you know what? She thanked Christy and Vicky and Raina, but she didn't say anything about Ryan's mother at all, who is technically her mother-in-law and has supported her for 3 years.
Quietly. Might you act? Might
You're freezing.
Oh, well, I don't know. Your browser's lost connection to screen share audio. Am I back? Am I back?
Yeah. Yeah. Am I here?
There.
Are we back?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, you froze up for a second. But I said that she didn't thank Ryan's mom, who is legally her mother-in-law, and it has been there for her.
Right. Yeah. No. I mean, it's just the antics of these people, the audacity of her, the
And you know what? I did post up that Ryan's latest post. It's like, I feel sorry for this poor guy. I mean, he's still madly in love with her. You know, he was like, you guys are wanting me to say negative things about her, but she's my wife and I'm not going to do that.
Look, I'm not fond of Ryan Anderson. I'm not fond of any of them. But I think that he was a schmo, just like Nick, that would do anything for her because he doesn't get a whole lot of attention from other women. And he got caught up in her bullshit and he liked the attention because probably no one's ever paid him attention. You know what I mean?
Right. And
he's getting tons of girls and he's not the guy that's walking into a bar getting underwear thrown at him. That's
right.
Not him.
I mean, you can tell he has low self-esteem and he is vulnerable, and she took advantage of him, and he really put her up on a pedestal. I mean, he thought that he had got himself like, Beyonce there. He thought she was a superstar.
Right. I mean, and he really thought that, like, I think he wrote her on a lark. Like, I don't think he really thought she would write him back. I think he thought, I'll just write her and, whatever. It's a funny thing to do, right? I think he just took the dare and did it. And he would have been better off writing fucking Joe Exotic at this point. Jesus, Joe that man didn't even kill anybody and he's doing life. Like, what the F?
I know, right?
Like, I don't even get that. That Carol Baskins, man, that woman is nuts.
That's who he should have wrote. His friend should have written Tiger King and he should have written Carol Baskins.
Well, she's not in jail though. She's still out free. That woman is a nut.
She's completely nuts.
He has handled this with grace. I am very suspicious about the story about him losing his job and his license now. Because I want to know more about it. I want to know more about what happened between her and Ken and how she tortured him, because she even talks about it. I threw everything at Ryan. He just stood through it all. I was horrible to him. I pushed him away. I made fun of him. I belittled him. What the fuck? Who would want to stay with you?
I abused him and he's still here. So
I had to kiss a lot of frogs to get to this one. Really, Gypsy, how many frogs did you kiss? Because according to you, it's only been 2. 3 with him and now 4 with Ken. But I think you kissed a lot of frogs. Yeah, I do. I think you made money doing it. Mm-hmm.
I think so too.
I love the stupidity of how social media works, how streaming works. I don't know how Facebook works, really, because you had 7 fucking Facebook accounts back in the day. How do you not know how Facebook works? It's not changed that fucking much. It's not that different.
Look, if her lips are moving, she's lying.
Fuck, when she's not, even when her lips aren't moving, she's lying. Right. She's already lying in her head. She's lying in her head, thinking of the next lie. There's no time and point where she is not lying. There is just never. She sleeps lying. Like, I think she thinks them up in her sleep. I think she wakes up and it's a dream that she had the night before, and that's the story she's going with for the day.
Right. I mean, like we've talked about how she's literally put herself in every victim category that she can think of.
Yeah, I remember her when Ryan was telling us that, and she was counting off the different ones.
Right. And I'm like, I said, you know what? The only thing I haven't heard yet is alien abduction. That's the only thing she hasn't claimed yet.
Right. She's picked up the LGBTQ crowd. She's picked up the I was SA'd crowd. She's got the my boyfriend gripped me after killing my mom crowd. I mean, that's probably a small crowd, but I'm sure there's a couple of them. I'm the disabled child crowd. Oh, I was abused crowd. I mean, what does the girl not have? What could she possibly not have?
I mean, cancer. I mean, you name it.
Chemo.
Dingers.
That's funny. But I mean, it's and going like, okay, so you want to go back to the Mother's Day post. It just was such a
it was a gut punch for me. I was like, you can't be serious. And like I said, there was just such a meanness to her.
It's not about that, guys. She's just not in a position to be able to record and do this on StreamYard. When we go live on the regular thing, we can see her face. We've seen her before. She just doesn't have a camera situation that works with StreamYard. We've tried.
Right. I haven't. I'm on my phone and I have an Android, so you can't use your camera on StreamYard.
I think it's because of that. Not that the Android. Yeah. So, I mean, we're questions, comments, thoughts. For this today, what she said about her grandfather, I covered that today here on YouTube in the post section and on Facebook, and I think maybe the TikTok one is still up there, but it's on Instagram as well. But I addressed her hypersexuality and how it applies to the chromosome disorder. Am I frozen? Am I frozen? What the hell?
No, you were going in and out.
I hate this. This drives me crazy. So yeah, I mean, it's just I got lost. I'm sorry. I got lost. I was making a point.
You were talking about the family with her allegations against her grandfather
and this hypersexuality. So the hypersexuality ties into her chromosome disorder, despite what other yo-yos like to tell you. It falls under the developmental delays and behavioral problems that are attached to the chromosome disorder. And not everybody that has the chromosome disorder has developmental delays. In fact, it's listed as, I think 75% of them do have some sort of developmental delays. 25% of them do not. It also is shown that this is a disorder that goes highly unreported, unfounded, because it's not something that they're looking for. You cannot find this chromosome disorder in just a regular genetic testing. I did not even know that. I found that out today while researching the hypersexuality of this and how it ties into the ADHD, the schizophrenia, and the mental and behavioral health issues that are associated with this disorder. And I think that what they did to her her grandfather was not okay.
It was very poor editing.
I do not believe that man did anything to her. I have sat in his presence. My child, who has been SA'd, has sat in his presence. And to this day, she does not feel that he did this. I do not feel that he did this. The family does not feel that he did this. I think that was poor editing on the part of Lifetime. And it's the same way that they did the bad editing in Mommy Dead and Dearest to make Mr. Claude look bad by him stating that I told him to flush her ashes down the toilet. Everybody thinks now that Dee Dee's ashes were fucking flushed down the toilet. They were not. He said it in a joke. Like, he was like, I just told him to flush her down the toilet. I didn't even want her. Like, because he was so upset by what he thought his daughter had done. I think he truly believed the story. I think he does, because he's not with it like the rest of them. And he was never home. He was not there for all the antics that Emma was pulling. And he was very disappointed in his wife and his daughter. And he made that very clear on many occasions of what they were doing. He was not happy with the cons that they were running already. And then I think he was heartbroken when he found out that his granddaughter supposedly was abused by his daughter. You know, I think he was devastated by that. And he was so angry. That was his knee-jerk, off the wall, kind of off the cuff response, because he's the type of guy that says things for shock value. He just does. I interviewed him. He does. You know, and I think that they clipped that to make him look bad, make Dee Dee look worse. And that was horrible. And I think they did it to him again in this. And I do believe that she definitely could have walked up and touched him, whether she's hypersexual touching him because she's sexual, or if she'd walked up and just touched him out of curiosity as a young toddler child at the age of 4 or 7 or whatever she said it was, you know. And I think that he was trying to explain that, and they clipped it to make him look horrible. Yes, and she said
agree.
her. Right. She just claims SA anytime she wants to.
And you know, you had said in previous interviews with her that she did not recall ever being abused by him.
Well, I talked about that today in my post. She did not recall when in fact, she told me on her very first phone call with me. She blurted it out to me like she does with everything else, because she has no fucking thought process. There is no fucking process between here and here. It just, if it is here, it just flies out of here. No thought process whatsoever. And I think I don't have a filter, but this girl has none. So I'm sitting there, we're talking on the first freaking phone call of her, and she just throws it out there. Well, my mom said that my grandfather SA'd me. What? Where did that come from? I was like so perplexed. I said, "Oh, I'm okay. I'm so sorry. Do you remember?" And she's like, "No, I don't. I don't have any recollection. My mom just told me that." And I don't think my grandfather did it. My mom just told me he did. And I think that my mom just liked to tell stories and tell people things to make other people look bad. She was very like flippant about it. She's like, "I don't have any recollection of it. I don't remember anything. And I'd really rather just leave it out of everything." And I was like, "Well, then why the fuck did you tell me?"
Right.
Like, I didn't need to know it. I would have never known that had you not told me.
Well, she was trying to get more sympathy from you.
Yes. And I even got into an argument with Ken about it, because he was so pissed off when I sent him the pilot of the Dipsy script, because we were originally doing a scripted series, you know. Yes, I was on the Morbid podcast, and it should be up there. It should be up there. I shared it to our page as well. I think it's like Gypsy Rose interviews or something like that. It's here. So, you know, I'm sorry, I get lost.
Ken, you were talking about Ken's reaction to the pilot.
Yeah, okay, so Ken's reaction, nothing else. First of all, he just messages back to Christy, and she's like, "Why is Claude included in this series?" And Christy said to me, she's like, "He's mad about Claude being in the series. I don't know what to fucking tell him." And I said, "Well, he is aware that he is her grandfather. So it kind of stands to reason that he's going to be."
That's an immediate family member that was with her when,
right.
You know, he took care of her when Dee Dee had her accident and spent time with her and said
Right.
there was nothing wrong with her. So, of course, he's going to be included.
Right. Right. And so I was like, I don't know what the fuck he thinks. And he's like, "Well, considering everything that he did to her, I just can't believe you're going to include him in the series." And I'm like, "But that's part of her journey and her story, but I wasn't going to share the essay part. I wasn't going to discuss that. I had told her as long as I didn't feel that it was paramount to the truth of the story between her and her mother and Nicholas, that I would not put it in there. If it didn't have any basis for anything, then why put it in there? I couldn't even figure out why she told me. It just was a weird fucking conversation. And so I was like, all right, you know, and she basically said the same thing she said about her mom. My mom said that he made her take baths with him. And my mom said that I had to take baths with him. So it's the bath story again.
Well, you know, she also, I don't know if you noticed, she put a post up this week claiming how she's felt so insecure about her body and her own sexuality because her mother essayed her too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it could have happened. I don't know, but I just don't think so. I don't.
It's very, and you know, think about all the interviews that she did and the documentaries that were done, and even the act, like nothing, not one single time was it ever mentioned anything about Claude until she was doing the prison confessions, which was her last prison interview series, and she's trying to get early release, and now all of a sudden this abuse allegation comes out.
I've said the same thing. There's no way she could have fit in that bathtub with Dee Dee. No way. None. No way. None. Okay, so what did you say? Somebody said something up here I wanted to address. Hold on. Okay, Tammy Lynn. I know who you're talking about. You're talking about Dr. Beckerman here again. Okay? This has been gone over and over and over and over. And there is a case that you could make for the fact that that could be her father, sure, by similar features in her face. However, based on our knowledge of the chromosome disorder, I do not believe that he is her father. I believe that Rod is her father because all of his children exhibit the same facial markers for this chromosome disorder. Dr. B does not have those facial markers in his face. He just has a big fucking nose. Okay, so I don't think that he is her father. I honestly don't think that he is even related to them, but it is not out without the realm of possibility that he could be distantly related to them, and that could be why.
I believe that Dee Dee and him had a romantic relationship, but that's just in my opinion.
I do too. Gypsy talks about it. Gypsy talks about it.
You know, think about it. I mean, this woman, you know, she's 24 years old and she's hooked up with a 17-year-old kid, you know, basically Rod, and, you know, she had dated other people, but is she really going to go 24 years without a boyfriend? Why did she never remarry? Why didn't she date? Why didn't she have any friends?
Well, look, my mother left my father when I was 6, and my mother never dated another person ever after that. Not one. She never wanted to. She didn't want to. She took
a lot of isolation. Really,
that was her whole life. When I say that this case touched me, there was a reason why this case hit me. And I think it's the reason why I was able to see through the bullshit. And I think it's the reason why I was called to the table. Because of my own experience, you know, I thought that I could bring a truth to her story for her. And I found out that the real person I was bringing a truth to the story for was Dee Dee. And this mother that I believe, while being a shit trash can human, I think she was actually a very good mother. I think she loved her daughter very much. I think she tried to give her anything and everything that she desired. I think that Mia is prettier, but she uses a lot of filters and a lot of makeup. And yes, Dee Dee was much prettier than her daughter, much prettier when she was younger.
Well, I mean, I fully believe that Dee Dee was obsessed with Gypsy.
Yes. My mother was her world. I was my mother's whole world. She lived vicariously through me. My mother got juvenile diabetes at 13. She never got to live a normal life after that. She married my father right out of high school, did not go and fulfill the scholarship that she got for her piano playing. And then they adopted me, and I became my mom's whole world. And when my father left when I was 6, I became my mother's everything. And she lived her whole life vicariously through me. She did not want me to leave. She always was very, controlling, very overprotective, overbearing. And I was rebelling against it at every freaking chance I could. And I ran away and I left. And on the day after I graduated high school, I walked out of my mom's house and I was like, bye, I'm leaving. I had already planned it for a week. I'd packed everything up inside of my closet so she wouldn't know. And I left. So, I think that Dee Dee truly knew her daughter was sick, knew about a chromosome disorder, had no idea which one it was because they couldn't identify it. And took that to an extreme level so that she could fleece and give her daughter and herself, because she was starstruck as well, a hell of a life. They met the Harry Potter cast. They were friends with Miranda and Blake Shelton. They were, she met Elijah Wood and Ethan Hawke. And they had scrapbooks of all the trips and all the people and all the celebrities and all the millionaires and all the people. I mean, just tons and tons and tons and tons of them.
Mm-hmm. I was going to mention something too to you this week, and we've been so busy I've forgotten. But you know how we talked, we debunked that Gypsy had never been on a beach or never been in the ocean and all that stuff. Well, we have that picture of her in her wheelchair, and of course Ken has already spoke out about that and said, that wasn't a real beach or whatever.
Branson, Missouri. That's still a beach.
But I was going to say, in that video of her in the boat, which we've all seen a bunch of times, but I just saw this week for the first time with the full sound on, and Gypsy says in her own words, "Here we are, guys, out on the open ocean."
Right?
Okay, right. So that's an ocean. Does she not know? I mean, come on.
Well, she's been to dolphins too, and she's been to. I just found they were going to Disney every couple of months in the last year, from 2014 to 2015.
Right. So when you listen to
never ever stopped at a beach.
When you are listening to that interrogation,
40 minutes to get to the beach. Thank you, Macy M. Exactly.
I mean, when you're listening to her in the interrogation video, the full length one, when she's spending 2.5 hours playing tour guide, I mean, she was talking about everywhere they were going. And it was like, yes, we know what Dee Dee did was crappy, but it's like Gypsy wanted these things. And so Dee Dee would figure out a method to manipulate people and manipulate the situation to give Gypsy anything and everything she wanted.
That's it. She was very spoiled. She was very coddled. She got anything and everything she wanted. She threw temper tantrums and got what she wanted. She, anytime she wanted something, Dee Dee got it for her, or Rod and Christy were hit up for it. And I don't think that I mean, look at that freaking photo. Okay. First, she comes out and tells Bree to tell everybody that photo is Photoshopped, right? That's the first they come out with. Oh, it's Photoshopped. That didn't happen. Well, then my viewers, lovely people that they are, found that picture. And we put it out right after Nina put it out, right?
We also showed the first 10 minutes of Dr. Phil.
That's what I was going to say. So,
and it's shown 4 times in the first 10 minutes.
I would say it was the first 15 minutes because we had 2 clips. We played 3 clips. So I think that was 15 minutes. So in the first 15 minutes of the show of Dr. Phil's 1 hour and a half special on her, that picture of her sitting in that pink little dress in her little freaking, thing with the beach umbrellas behind her was shown 4 times. So
Well,
we're
and
shocked by Dr. Phil.
right. And you know what? Ken's saying the exact same thing that I knew she was going to say but this was the first time she actually got to walk on the sand with her feet.
Right. And it's so funny because like I put out a video today and it's like, I'm gonna sing 10 after you. Like somebody made it and I was just like, oh, it's perfect, because she's like, no, it's Photoshop. Oh, you don't believe that? Oh, then I'm gonna sing 10 after you, Nina. Like,
oh my God.
It did. He went on Nina's thing and attacked her and was like, that's not true. No. I wonder if Ken still says that she could come have a drink in his bar anytime. I wonder if he still feels that way about Nina. It's interesting. No, she does not sing. She pretends to sing. She even says she can't sing.
Oh, yeah. Please tell us that this rumor of her dropping that single is a joke.
Tiffany, let me tell you, I think she is DEFCON 200 danger. DEFCON 5 is like the highest, right? No. She is DEFCON 200 dangerous. I know, Macy, she lived very close to the beach. In fact, I think no, Sarah and I didn't get to go. We were going to go. We had plans to go, and then we didn't go. Yeah, I couldn't remember if we actually went there that time, because I remember seeing the beach and I remember seeing the water so many times, but we didn't actually go to the beach.
That's what I said. I'm like, what do you mean you've never seen the ocean? You've never been to the ocean? You've never been on a beach, blah, blah, blah. I mean, you live in Louisiana.
We do need to get me into the studio, Swanee. I really would like that. That would be great. You've been talking about that. Oh my God. The Taylor Swift. Honey, your obsessions are showing. Your developmental delays are showing. Your behavioral problems are showing. Your obsession with Taylor is a bit scary. Taylor, if you're listening, I'm not even a fan. I didn't enjoy being in your little music video. I thought you were kind of bratty and shitty, but maybe you've grown as a human. I don't think so, but based on your song choices, I don't think you've matured at all. But hey, babe, I'd just like to let you know, Taylor, you might want to be real concerned.
You know what people you know what? Candace Owens and Taylor Swift are the exact same age. And that blows my mind. Yes, Taylor Swift is 34 years old.
Like she's like a teeny bopper.
She exactly. That's what Candace Owens was talking about, is her behavior. Why does she keep pretending to act like she's 15 years old? And, I mean, she's like 34.
Macy is really on this whole bit. Macy is really, really, really on the beach situation. He's really bothered by the beach situation.
Yes, ma'am. I mean, yes, absolutely. Louisiana has a lot of beach and ocean access.
Yes, but it was like.
She is going to be, she's doing our geographical. She's going to be our geographical person.
Okay, but back to Taylor Swift for a minute.
Taylor Swift. Yeah.
I'm definitely not a Swiftie. But she puts out a freaking thing in TMZ. God love them. They are really trying and reaching and pushing her because they run out of shit. They don't know what else to do other than to catalog her poops on a daily basis at this point.
They're making money off of her.
She freaking puts out a story that she thinks the song that Taylor recorded 2 years ago. I don't know. Yeah. Listen, 2 years ago is about her.
Right. It's something about this girl.
That's the only thing. Okay, literally, it is a girl that gets out of a relationship and runs back to the man in her life that's always been the constant, the steady, the rock for her. That's what the song's about.
But she
it's
is
you, Gypsy Rose, getting out of the slammer and leaving your husband for your boy toy Ken, who, by the way, is not cute. Sorry, he's not. He's balding and he's weird looking. And
she's gonna spend the big bucks and get him a hair transplant.
Yeah. She's gonna get him a hair transplant.
Hair transplants are extremely expensive and very painful.
Ass boyfriend. Okay, so guys, you want to go back in the Wayback Machine about Ken for a minute? Here's the funniest thing. My fallout with Ken. I already didn't like the dude. I couldn't stand him. But, I told him, just like I told the family, that I was here to support them, protect them from the media, and tell the truth. Sarah, go out and come back in. Just drop down. Here, I'll remove you and put you back. See if that helps. Okay, I think that helped. All right. So I had told him that despite my thoughts about him, that included him because he was a member of the family. And that was my job. And that my job was to protect them and make sure that the truthful stories got out there in the right way. And I was irritated one day on my flight out of Louisiana or out of Kentucky to LA to go pitch the fucking thing and the project. And I made a comment to someone and I said, because I said something about there was all these weird pictures. Everybody was talking about the weird pictures of him and how weird he looked. And she's sitting over here screaming how hot her man is. And we're all going, I don't see it. And he's just weird. And somebody messaged me about him. And I said, the thing about Ken is that we don't like him either. And we think the pictures are sus as fuck. They're strange. They're fucking strange pictures of him with his grandma being weird. And just all his pictures are just off. There's something wrong with him. And I said that. And my haters copied that from the girl who set me up to get me to say something like that. And I didn't give a shit. I don't care. I did not give a flying fuck. But they went around and they put it on In Touch's Twitter page. They went around and put it on every single social media site of all the major freaking news stations, which was why we ended up doing the piece that we ended up doing, trying to be supportive of him and explain what that was from, because it was taken out of context. And I was basically just saying, look, I don't like the guy either. I think he's creepy and weird, but we're dealing with him.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
What am I going to do? I don't like the guy. He's causing me problems. He's causing Gypsy problems. He's causing Christy problems. I don't like this guy. He's a douchebag. And they took that and they put that everywhere. Well, this is how Fancy really feels about Ken. So he comes in and he's like, this is how you really feel. I said, Ken, I already told you this is how I really feel. I told Christy this was how I really feel. I told Gypsy this was how I really feel. I told you this was how I really feel. And you have done no things to prove me wrong. And he continues to not do any things to prove me wrong. He's a douchebag. And he's in it for fame and fortune. And when she's no longer convenient for him, he's going to drop her like the fucking hot sack of potatoes she is. And he is going to go find him a decent girl and settle down and start a family. Like he was planning on doing before she came out of prison.
Yeah, and it just, like I said, I mean, I wonder with the behavioral issues that she has from this chromosome disorder, if there is something in his mental health that brings out the worst in her.
Are we talking about the Gremlins again and they didn't play together?
Oh, exactly. Do not feed them after midnight. Do not get them wet. These two do not play well together.
I love Toddy too. You get a mutate. Oh, neighbor lady, love this. You get a mutation, and you get a gene mutation, and you get a gene mutation.
Exactly.
We all get gene mutation.
Oh yes, chromosome disorders all around. Which is, why I feel
like girl doesn't.
and that's why I feel like with her having these behavioral issues from the chromosome disorder, that it was the perfect storm with Nick's behavioral and mental disorder.
Yes, we called it the perfect storm before we knew what that really, we called it the perfect storm from the very beginning, and we had no idea how correct we were.
Right. But there's something that has definitely changed in her since she got back together with Ken.
Mm-hmm. She's ruthless. She's mean. That's the real Gypsy. What you've seen up to this point is a shell of Gypsy that is trying to pretend that she is not a horrid, awful person, despite the fact that she cannot get away from the fact that she is, to her core, a horrid, awful person. I'm sorry, she is. And you can post about how revenge is, best not done, and be all pro mom and say, well, my mom wasn't a good mom, but she was a good person. No, you've got that backwards, baby. She was a good mom. She was not a good person. Difference.
Right. And I love the quote that's been going around about the Mother's Day post when she said, basically, it goes without mention or without notice that my biological mother.
Yeah, my biological. I love that she called her biological mother. So now she's just really she was just my sperm, my egg donor.
Egg
donor
donor
that raised me for 23 years, gave me anything and everything I ever wanted, a free house, a free car, trips everywhere, anything I wanted, designer clothes, everything, laptops, tons of them, different phones, anything she asked for, anywhere she wanted to go, anyone she wanted to meet. That's just her bio mom, folks. Just her bio mom.
Right. And when she said that, it doesn't go without notice that my biological mother is not here. And people said, yes, we noticed. They said, bitch, we noticed you murdered her.
Right?
It was like the worst.
That? You know what? If she was just going to do that, then she could have just left Dee Dee out altogether. This is the problem I have with her and Christy so much, because they cannot take a missing opportunity to stab Dee Dee in the back one more time. Both of them. They constantly do it. Rod, not so much. Rod has actually said some nice things about Dee Dee. He has been less of a dick about it. And he thought she was a good mom. They all thought she was a good mom, according to them. She was a good mom. That's the thing. So why didn't you just leave your mom out of it? If you wanted to pay tribute to Christy and Raina and Vicky and all the moms in your life that are guiding you to trashdom, then why didn't you just do that? Did you really need to step on your mom again? God, you're a bitch. A real fucking nasty ass bitch.
It was very, you could see the meanness when she was when she was trying to read people at the beginning. You guys keep your crappy comments. You want to talk crap about me.
Yes, Starlight, you can. I don't know how. I do not want to put the link out there. You still have me on Facebook. I can send you the link there. Okay. I'll send it to you right now. And I swear to God, if any
better, oh my God, it's better. You've got a delay on, right? You've got the delay on now, right?
If any antics happen, man. No, I don't know how to do it. No, I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do it.
Okay, I thought you had the delay on because
the invitation here.
I am watching you. I'm watching you on YouTube, and you're delayed on YouTube.
Yeah, I know.
So that's why I thought you had used the StreamYard delay feature.
It's just a delay.
We're gonna have to come up with code questions, like okay, what's your favorite color? And if you can't answer correctly, then we can't let you up in the box because we don't know if it's a cornucopia attack again.
fucking believable that we have to behave like this because they can't act like decent human beings. You want to talk about us bullying and harassing and stalking people when none of us want anything to do with you and would just rather you all just fall to the fucking wayside like the irrelevant pieces of trash you are. And instead you come in here and hassle us when we're trying to do actual work. It's fucking exhausting. You guys are weird.
Just commit crimes. Commit crimes. Legal crimes.
She's a platypus, half rodent with a beak. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Did you have that clip of the beginning of the Mother's Day post that you were going to play?
Somewhere.
Okay. I mean, it was you have the screen recording of it though, right? Because you said it took it down.
It's on YouTube. It's on YouTube.
Oh,
it's on our YouTube. I put it out. I make sure I put it on TikTok. I'll put something on TikTok immediately. And as soon as it's done downloading, I put it on every other platform because I know they're going to hit it with community guidelines. So I have to do it before they hit it with community guidelines. So I actually get it downloaded onto my phone. And then I have to like race all over the place to put it up before I get back to TikTok and they hit me with the community guidelines already. All right, Starlight. How do I do this? Authenticated with YouTube. Okay, I'm hoping that means it's really you. Holy shit, it's her.
Yes.
Yay, no P's or V's this time.
Hey, I might be feeling frisky. Who knows? That happens all the time. I can tell you what to do to prevent it is to do an overlay, and anytime someone comes up and they don't want to cam up, put that overlay up until they're
I haven't used StreamYard in a really long time, and they've upgraded all kinds of features. So I'm gonna have to learn that again because we were using Riverside. Anyway,
you know how to and guys, once again, look, Starlight and I are in the same live.
And we're not the same person.
We're not the same person.
I got to show you something.
Is this you? The stage that you just got it?
Yes.
It's no P's or V's, right?
No.
Oh, yeah, we talked about this.
Oh, yeah. Man, I missed it. I just got home.
You missed it.
No, you know what she's Starlight, you know what she's copying in this picture, don't you?
What?
The brand new series that just came out of True Detective Night Country with Jodie Foster. She's replicating the scene with Jodie Foster. I sent it to Fancy. She can put it up right now and show you what I'm talking about.
God.
I am. I'm working on it right this minute.
And I was like, what?
You're going to see it and you're just going to be like, so.
But like, this is what I think when I see this. Tell me you're not bothered. But tell me you're not bothered without telling me that you're not bothered. I mean, this is not a coincidence that she's posting these. So she obviously knows we're talking about it, which is great. And,
Right. Here we go. So, Facebook, is that right? Yes. Here we go, Starlight.
There's the
picture.
Oh my God.
Yes.
This is a new True
Detective. Just came out.
This is the brand new True Detective season 4.
Wow.
Night Country. That's Jodie Foster in the middle of the evidence pictures.
That picture of Gypsy, like she doesn't look very blonde in it. It makes me wonder if it's old.
I noticed that as well.
I think it's an old picture.
I wonder if it's old.
Yeah.
It's probably old.
But she's copying. I'm telling you guys, she's copying this show.
No, she is.
I mean, was she like, Mama Christie, can you get all my files out and spread them around in a circle?
Yeah, in a circle for me. So I can find the one that talks about my non-existent chemo.
Right. Or we want to make this picture look just like, the HBO Max hit show Night Country with Jodie Foster, True Detective. So make it look like that. Make it look like that, Christy.
No, Susie, she's not embarrassed. Clearly, there is no embarrassment level that she has. No, and apparently Christy has none either. I have never seen. For me, the trip to LA was summed up by Christy Blanchard taking off Gypsy's shoes while
her
she sat
whittle
there with her chocolate thingy, the whatever the hell the Mexican one thing is called. It's a Mexican
mango
thing.
with chamoy.
Yeah, that thing. Okay, that thing. She's sitting there enjoying that and flipping her hair and doing. And here's Christy literally taking off her shoes,
Putting
for
off her
Princess
whittle
Gypsy.
shoesies. Her whittle shoesies.
I just that was it. I was like,
You know what? She was at a table, sitting down at a table. She could have set her cup down and taken her shoes off her damn self. And she's sitting there just like flipping her hair, looking around like she's in a photo shoot.
And did you notice the people behind them filming it?
Yes.
Running. It was so weird. I couldn't.
Her whittle
Yeah,
shoesies.
I mean, yeah, no. And now Brie is admitting that she has this chromosome disorder. She's been on it for a week now, admitting it.
Yep.
After Nina and I have called it out.
Starlight. Did you see her browser history?
Girl. Yes, I did. And oh, poor thing. Like this is not, I said on my live today, I was like, is this the hill that you want to die on, Brie? And it is. It's definitely the hill she's going to. And I don't mean that, in reality, it's a figure of speech. But she's willing to die on that hill, and she's going to get chewed up and spit out, and she's going to be on here crying one day about it.
Yes. And Starlight, listen, you got to pick a lane and stick with it, because she cannot be a victim of Munchausen by proxy and also have the chromosome disorder. You have to pick one or the other.
Yeah.
That is a scientific medical fact.
So my husband just called, guys, to tell me, and I already saw this today, I just hadn't made any comment on it. The gentleman that broke into Nancy Pelosi's house and assaulted her husband, supposedly, got 30 years in prison today.
I saw that. Yeah, I thought it was yesterday. Was it today?
Her husband and breaking in, he got 30 years, and Gypsy Rose got 10 for murdering her mother.
Listen, that was Nancy Pelosi's husband's boyfriend.
I'm aware. Okay, but I don't. I'm just making a statement here. This man is given 30 years for whatever the fuck happened that we know they're lying about. We just know they're lying. I don't know what they're lying about. I don't know exactly what happened, but we know they're lying. All the politicians are lying all the time. I don't trust either side. I don't like either one of them. You know what I mean?
I thought the case had been dropped after the evidence came forward that he had been in contact with this man for a long time.
30 years.
Oh my God, that's terrible when your boyfriend's wife sends you to prison for 30 years.
Right? She's like, my dad got 7. But this drug dealer gets 45. The justice system is so fucked up, it's not even funny. Starlight, did you want to hang out with us for a little bit, baby, or you want to go?
Yeah, no, I was gonna hang out for a little bit.
So, okay, what are your favorite Dipsy Dump moments of the week?
Oh, I don't know. That one of the medical records may be there at the top, but the girly pop, that was funny and cringy.
Which one? I didn't see that one. Tell me about
I saw that.
Yeah, she did the get ready with me, because she's trying to take the spotlight from Mia, because Mia's doing those get ready with me's and getting hundreds of people in there. But then she did one after that. A girl sent her a pair of nails in the mail, and she's like, "Hey, girly pop, I got the nails."
Oh my God!
I saw that.
She said that's hot.
Yeah, now everybody's like, apparently those nails were sent to her a long time ago. And now Girly Pop is like completely, they don't want her to tag them.
What is Girly Pop? What the fuck?
They make nails. They make fake nails and accessories.
But
and
I thought Girly Pop was just a saying.
You don't want her to tag them.
Yeah, it's like, please don't tag us.
Hilarious.
The
That's
Girly Pop is
hilarious.
a saying that these new age, I don't know what generation these freaking young people are, but they say girly
either.
pop, and nobody says fetch though, Gypsy. So you need to just stop with that one.
So
And then of
What
course,
do you?
I really
We've got
liked
the Paris
bathroom one,
Hilton.
too. Yeah, we got Paris Hilton, but I like the bathroom one too, Starlight. What is your thought process on this? Okay, look, I was not aware. I have never been to prison. I did not understand that that is a real thing, that they cut their hair with toenail clippers.
oh yeah,
Okay?
I didn't know that either.
Personally, though, that is that when she first did all of this and drastically
Mhm.
changed her hair and all those things, I called it out then and said, this is a girl who's going through serious mental issues. She is having a breakdown. Something is not right. This is a sign, a symptom of psychosis. And
A cry for help. A cry for help.
She's in crisis. Then
Well, I
now
had
she
a-
settled down. That's before I even knew that she did it with freaking, toenail clippers.
Well, we
Do you
mentioned this.
really believe that she's cutting her hair with toenail clippers? I just don't see how.
Listen, you talked about this yesterday when we were talking about cry for help, behavioral issues, things like that. And I didn't bring this up, but it is a true fact that my grandmother, every time that my aunt had a fallout with a boyfriend or a fight or a breakup, she would take her to go get her hair done, and they would do something drastic.
Yes, it's a literal symptom. It's
Yes.
not,
I
I'm
had
not bullshitting you.
I worked in childcare for years, and I had a little girl one year who her mom kept her hair almost buzzed because she would pull it. She would pull it out and she would put it in her finger and she'd like rub it under her nose at nap time. It was like some sort of like soothing thing for her. And it just makes me wonder if that's why her mom kept her hair short.
That's what I said. Okay, because
I think she did it to make her look as goofy as she possibly could. The hats, the glasses.
No, I don't think so, to be honest with you, because she could have done that with the hats and the glasses all easy. I really do agree with Starlight. I made this point today. I think that Gypsy has a problem with picking her hair when she is stressed.
Yeah.
She said she has a problem when she is stressed. She fucks with her hair.
She says she takes it out on her hair.
Her hair. She says, I fuck with my hair. I take it out of my hair. That is psychosis, just so you guys know, those of you that said it's not, it is. Okay. And I think she had problems and she would pull her hair out. And so Dee Dee just kept it nice and tight and clean for her.
Well, I mean, look at like, I mean, this is just an example, but I always, when the Watts thing happened, I was always like, why is Bella's hair kept so short? Which I don't know why, but Shanann kept Bella's hair very short. I'm not saying she had anything to do with Gypsy, but just some moms do that.
Well, I thought that her hair grew in very slow because I had a sister that's 17 months younger than me. I'm the oldest of 4 girls. And my sister that's directly after me, her hair was curly. And when it took forever to grow, her hair did not grow out until she was 3 years old. So everybody was always like, why is her hair so short? And it was just like Shanann's daughter it looked exactly the same. So it could just be, the way that her hair grew out. But, and I've seen it in childcare with a lot of kids I worked with in daycare. And also with friends, kids, and things like that, where their hair just grew super slow at the beginning. But Gypsy has very thick hair that grows very fast. And so toenail clippers would have taken forever.
That's what I was thinking. It's very thick.
That's what I was thinking. There's no way that would have taken 3 fucking days to chop through her hair. I know when it happened. I know how long her hair was at the time. I remember when that picture was taken and how I was like, holy shit. And I'm sorry, it's too styled for fucking toenail clippers. And I don't believe that Miss Pillow Princess, in her own words, was hacking away at her hair in a freaking bathroom. She had more than enough money on her commissary at any fucking time she wanted to go and get her hair done. And yes, I understand through COVID they had some problems, but there were other ways.
I would like to.
Why would
and that haircut did not happen during COVID either.
Let me tell you something.
Look into
they post the picture of her with her hair whacked off like that from toenail clippers, supposedly, while she's discussing her bisexuality?
Who fucking knows, dude? But okay, Tammy Lynn, I want to address this. No, that would be incorrect. It was would be right, I think, in the fact that once they got to Missouri, Dee Dee did keep it short for her, and I think to carry on the cancer, and I think it was beneficial to her to be able to wear the wigs and cosplay, like a lot of our followers are dropping in the chat there. But before that, prior to move from Louisiana to Missouri, no, there was no cancer story. She did not have cancer.
Right. It was just
story going while she was. It did not start until 2007, technically, but in 2005, like I explained earlier, they used it as a ruse to get their angel flight from Louisiana to Missouri, and they had to continue with it because it was the only way they could stay for the months that they did in the Hope Lodge.
Right, but even before,
let me finish, then you can comment. Just let me finish, okay? So they used it to get there, and Hope Lodge is a cancer Ronald McDonald house. Like, that's what it's for, okay? And so when she landed in the hospital, she doesn't have anything, so they convinced a dentist that specializes in treating patients who've had chemo and cancer issues with their teeth, that she was having chemo and that her teeth had all been destroyed. And he wrote the letter, and this is not how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a full-fledged doctor that writes this letter to Hope Lodge. He writes the letter to Hope Lodge to be able for her to stay there for the extended period of time for 3 months while they're working her up when she first went to there. Then it's never mentioned again in her file until 2007, where they mention it as a blood disorder within the family. And then a couple months later, Colleen found it where it first shows up as she having leukemia at 5. And that's it. That's the whole story.
Hot.
Okay, so listen, I'm sorry, guys, if I've talked over anybody this week or even tonight, because we're having so much technical difficulties with the delays. It's like I can't hear everybody. But what I was going to say is, even before they claimed the cancer and started shaving her head, she kept her hair very short to make her look as pitiful as possible.
Well, see, I think that played into it, but listen to what one of our, hold on, let me find it here. This is what I think, and I think Apple Charlotte is probably right. It's this trichotillomania, also known as Trich or TTM, is when someone cannot resist the urge to pull out their hair. They may pull out the hair on their head or in other places. I think that could definitely be something that she is suffering from. It goes along with the rest of her mental health disorders.
Well, I've seen people that have that, and they will literally pull out chunks, and they just have bald spots all over.
Well, Roberta, funny you should ask. Yes, ma'am, I have. Oh, wait, nope. Hold on. Yes, I have talked with a couple of people that knew her in prison. I am very good friends with the inmate that she destroyed and used and turned on, Rachel. And that was how I met Nina, the beauty influencer, in the first place, was because Rachel went to Nina and Nina was sharing Rachel's story. But so I did live earlier till 6, from 6 to 6 to 7 or whatever. I did it till 7. And then I hopped off for half an hour to come back to this. Well, I forgot that I was invited to do an interview with another podcast. And guess what? Her cousin was in prison with Gypsy Rose, and she's still in prison, and she knows the tutor of Gypsy Rose. She knows several of her roommates, and they are willing to talk with us.
Ooh.
Well, and I talked to a woman that was in prison. Well, she was in the county jail with her when she was up there in Wisconsin. And she said it was like 5 days of absolute hell, and that she wants to come on and do an interview with us. And so that you said you hadn't talked to anybody from Wisconsin yet. So I think that will be interesting because we have heard stuff from people at Chillicothe, but not Wisconsin.
We have heard from the first responders and the ones that brought her in. When we first had our TikTok, they came on and they talked a little bit. One of them did, and she was very informative. But yeah, no, we have not heard from anybody while she was in the jail waiting to be transferred from Wisconsin to Greene County. Now, have you guys heard the Greene County jailer interview that we did? We played it the other night for you guys in in its entirety. You definitely need to go hear that if you have not.
It's very
and then Starlight. Let's talk about that press conference again, though. That press conference with Sheriff Arnott.
Yep.
Man.
First,
that was a gem, dude. I can't believe it.
Starlight. I'm telling you, the press. They were headed in the right direction with everything. Their questions, they were pushing the fraud. And then all of a sudden it gets flipped on its head to Munchausen by proxy.
Yeah. And when you mentioned earlier that the first thing that Christy had ever gone on was Dr. Phil, well, I, of course, typed it in to try to find it.
Dr. Oz.
Dr. Oz, sorry. I was doing like two things at once. And what first came up was it was Dr. Oz and Dr. Phil together, and it's just a little clip, and they're just talking about Munchausen by proxy, and then they
I remember this. Are they walking? They're walking, right?
Well, and he pulls up a screen, and it says like sleep apnea, everything that the chromosome disorder. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then it says multiple surgeries. They never say what the surgeries are because there aren't any. There are none besides her eye surgery and her dental work. Oh, and you know what else?
Well, here, let's be fair. Muscle biopsy is a surgery, so that was one, and she needed.
I'm saying like she didn't have organs removed,
surgeries, eye surgeries, ear tubes, and that's it.
But the way they present is like
they did something with her.
I know. She's telling him that she had 30 surgeries before the time she was like, whatever. She tells Dr. Phil this. I can't remember what age she says because it's bullshit anyway. So, but she tells him 30 surgeries before whatever. And he's like, that's just, I can't imagine. What were they for? And she can't list them. She can't list them. She doesn't list them. But I found it funny that she could tell him what microcephaly was and exactly what it meant and what it meant for her brain. So remember, she's only got a 3rd grade education according to her. Mama taught her nothing but how to cheat, steal, and lie, right? She didn't teach her anything else. That's really funny because we have her as early as 1 year old teaching you cranium and phalanges, and then you're going to go on Dr. Phil and tell you that my mother always used the clinical term for everything and she wanted me to understand. Meanwhile, you sat and told me for years that you had no idea what had happened to you and you didn't know anything about any of it.
She was reading the Harry Potter series. That's not an easy read for someone with a 2nd grade level. And I think she probably read the Lord of the Rings series, and those are not easy reads.
She watched True Blood. Come on, Mama's overprotective and she's letting her literally go out and buy. Not just, I watched it on HBO because it was on and Mom wasn't home. Okay, or Mom was asleep. No. She had the entire DVD collection with her in her bag from Missouri when she went to Wisconsin. That was what she brought with her. And don't you forget the very first movie she told Nick she wanted to see with him. Do you guys know what it was?
Gray, 50 Shades of Grey. Yeah.
And you know what else? ANAL. Before they were hard AN.
Oh yeah, I went through all of the text messages. I read every single text message the other day on one of my lives. But
because the first time I read them, I vomited.
It was the second time I've read them. So
it's this strange, like immature, almost childlike conversation that it goes to BD, you know what, and then the next second it's murder, and then it's back to childish, and it's like,
But you know the part where she's like apologizing for her freak out and saying that a life with him was going to be trash and all that, and like she is being so mean to him, where he's at the point to where he's saying, you know, well, if I can't be with you, I just might as well die, and says he's going to go, you know, like himself.
Right.
And then she does this a couple times. So she's being mean and awful. She's not, you know, he's saying all that. And then all of a sudden, the next text message from her is, Daddy, I'm sorry. It's me,
Please
Kitty.
come back. Please
Yeah,
come
it's
back.
so gross.
See, I don't think people even understand what those text messages are. Okay, that is from
Oh,
one
I
phone.
do.
It is a burner phone. They both
Mhm.
had brand new burner phones. She bought him a phone too. Okay, they both had burner phones, and it was only for 2 weeks before the murder.
Yep.
We do not have the Facebook messages. We do not have the Christian dating site messages. We do not have the
Skype.
Yahoo messages. We do not have the
Skype.
Skype messages. I've seen some of them here and there, but they were presented in his last appeal, and I am.
That's what I was going to say, Fancy.
Them to jump out.
Today, I have
for
a
years.
video. I have a video on my channel, and I went ahead and just played it today. And it's I'm reading. Was it Dr. W? That's
Yes.
from Nick's appeal.
Yes.
That document in Dr. W's testimony is so important. I think you should read it on one of your next lives.
I've done it before. You're talking about the offer of proof, right?
No, he goes into
His
detail
testimony.
about the videos that we can't see. The
Right.
one with Ruby, the one with Demona,
Yes.
all of those. The
He
one
does.
where
And
she,
you know what? I missed it. I missed it because I'll be honest, I didn't watch his trial fully when I was researching.
this is in
everything
the
because I
appeal
cared.
document. This is the appeal document.
Oh, see,
Yeah.
I've read lots of it, but I haven't read it all. I don't think I
Oh,
might have missed one of them because I
let
didn't see
me say, this is an important document.
Okay, we'll
Dr.
definitely
W's
make sure.
statement. Yes.
that. And Dr. W is very important to this case, and here's why.
But
Okay.
let me clarify just real quick.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm getting it wrong because Dr. W testified during the appeal, the first one. He did not testify in the trial. That's a different doctor.
Hold on, let me pull it out. Hold on.
I can
So
send it to you, or I can pull the video up.
Yeah, just a second. Let me see if I can grab it real quick.
It's in his I can't. Oh God, it's been like 3 months
I know.
since
I
I've
just
had.
for proof, real quick, and I can tell you. But pull the video. Pull the video. Let's pull the video.
Okay, well, it's me reading it. Like I clipped it from one of my lives, so
Okay,
bear with it.
No, it's no problem. But I think so this is not the same Dr. W that testified in his trial?
No, he did not. He testified for the appeal. Like, you know how Dan testified in the appeal?
Right, I understand, but
Right.
we have a Dr. W, and he's very important to the case in many ways. But I wonder.
Let me see if it's okay. So I don't know if you want to read that off because I don't in the video.
Nicholas Godejohn was denied effective assistance of counsel, a fair trial due process, and was subjected to cruel and unusual punishment in violation of his rights under the 5th, 6th, 8th, and 14th Amendment to the United States Constitution of Article 1, Section 10, 18A and 21 of the Missouri Constitution, and that his trial counsel failed to fully investigate and present evidence from a qualified neurophysiologist, especially specializing in autism spectrum disorder to support diminished capacity. Yeah, it's the same doctor.
No, it's not. I promise, because he is there to. Sorry, he's there to dispute
Nicholas
what the
Godejohn.
doctor.
Okay.
Oh, he's there.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
So Dr. W is there to dispute what the doctor during the trial said, pretty much, like because he didn't give effective testimony.
Okay.
Dr. W testified at the post-conviction hearing, and he is a pediatric neuropsychologist.
Okay.
A portion of his testimony is as follows, and this is me giving commentary, so just bear with it.
It's okay. It's okay.
See, at the Christian, Dr. W testified that Mr. Godejohn met Gypsy at the Christian Dating for Free website in 2012. After reading Nick's profile, Gypsy contacted him first. Ooh, we're getting to the juicy juice now, guys.
Right.
Gypsy contacted him first. They messaged on the website for a day and a half before Gypsy suggested that they move to Facebook to continue their relationship.
Right.
Dr. W testified that, as is typical with autistic people, Mr. Godejohn did not initiate, but was responding to the direction he was getting. Mr. Godejohn kept a journal between 2012 and ooh, I want to see this journal. Show us the journal. Mr. Godejohn kept a journal between 2012 and 2015 that detailed his online relationship with Gypsy. Dr. W testified that the journal reflects Mr. Godejohn's ASD/Asperger's because it mostly recounts facts instead of qualitative emotional content. He wrote good night to himself. Once he wrote, note to self, always keep Gypsy close, for she is everything I ever wanted, end quote. He also noted that he and Gypsy were becoming in sync with each other by their communication. The journal reflects that the relationship was all-encompassing to Mr. Godejohn. Dr. W received a large number of videos that Gypsy, sent to Mr. Godejohn. The large number of videos that Gypsy sent to Mr. Godejohn.
Right.
Please release these videos. Okay. The large number of videos that Gypsy sent to Mr. Godejohn and the ones that Mr. Godejohn sent back. The videos span from February 2013 to May 26, 2015. Also communicated with Nick from her, Demona Love Slave account. I need to know more about Demona, Gypsy. Can you get back to me on that? Thank you.
Right, me too.
In many videos, she
listen. If you guys can't see, Demona equals demon.
Naked.
Well, yeah.
Demona comes from the word demon.
Well, it's a character. It's a real character.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a real character. And I believe she is a demon, right?
Right.
For sure.
Yeah. Okay.
In many videos, she was depicted in role-playing personas, as well as being naked and masturbating. Oh, Gypsy. Gypsy.
But Mama didn't know.
Wow.
But Mama didn't know.
Lord,
but Mama didn't know.
Why do I have a feeling she was probably in the bathroom too when she's filming that? That's her favorite.
She's in her wheelchair. She's in her wheelchair. She's in her wheelchair with a vibrator.
Skittling her skittle. Mercy.
It's Dipsy Dump Day, okay? So I have the right to say something snarky
and submissive. They both took turns being dominant and submissive, or quote switches. Master and quote slave. Gypsy told Mr. Godejohn when it was his turn to be master or slave. This is wow. Dr. W found that the videos from Gypsy to Mr. Godejohn were instructional videos. Interesting. Autistic people receive their information about the social requirements of relationships from the structure of videos rather than the outside world. Mr. Godejohn was receiving his information about the requirements for his social relationship from the videos and not from anywhere else. The various persona were feeding Mr. Godejohn instructions. Oh my God.
So she created him.
On the subject of love, for example. Yeah, like he said, these videos were instructional videos.
Yes,
she used all these different personas. And that's why I asked you earlier, Fancy, like I've never heard of all these other personas that Nick had. Like I've heard them referenced. I know about his evil side, but I have never heard like the matches to Kitty, the matches to Ruby. No, I know Ruby was the.
No, there are. Hold on. Just a second. Let me clarify.
Well, I mean, Victor liked
right, that's
Ruby.
The only one I know of. That's the
right,
only
and then
one I've heard
Demona is equal to the word demon.
Hold on. Let me clarify because I know these things actually. Okay, well, I know all of Gypsy's. I didn't know about Demona till much later. I heard it in passing, but I didn't realize it was a real thing because nobody ever talks about it. Nobody. They all talk about Ruby and Kitty, and we were never shown anything about Demona, so I just figured it was just some extra whatever thing. Okay.
What about Candy?
Right. Well, Candy was originally one of the ones. It was Candy, Kitty, Bella, Ruby, and whatever. Okay. So the way that I found out about his other alters and who they are and what they're named was through the emails between him and Dawn. So he plays the same role with Dawn that he played with Gypsy, in that he asks her, and I think that Gypsy convinced him to do this, and so now it's what he does. Okay, I don't think that he did this to Gypsy and then continued on with more girls. I used to think so, not anymore. So he tells her that she needs, if she is his one true twin flame, because he believes wholeheartedly in the twin flames, that she will have a personality to match each one of his.
I think think it's the other way around. I think she came up with the personalities and he made them.
No, that's what I'm saying. Gypsy came up with it first because she'd already had those personalities with Dan. I think then she told him that we are twin flame soulmates, blah, blah, fucking blah, 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 fucking blah. And he had these, I think he did have like personas in his head that he had given names to just as his personality traits. I believe it's part of his own philosophy. And I'm going to talk about this in my Nick book, because I only came to this conclusion after going back to school and working with my professors and Amanda, one of our old teammates, on him specifically so I could understand him better. But in these emails, he does request Dawn Boker to make up these that she will have these personalities. So she creates them. And then he messages her back and he tells her exactly who his.
Maybe he's repeating a learned behavior that he learned from Gypsy. And we think
right.
He doesn't know how to have a relationship with someone. The only thing he has to go off of is his relationship with Gypsy. So it's like a repeating a pattern.
Right. She trained him in this.
Yeah.
Right. No, she did. She groomed him. She groomed him.
Yep.
And I don't know. I'm still on the fence. I need to talk to Dan. Like, I need to know more about Dan, because Dan alleges that Gypsy was already bringing this to him, that he developed this role, this power play with her at her behest, and he decided he liked it and they went with it. But I'm just wondering, where did this come from? Was she groomed by one of the men in that Vigicon? Was it Dan? Was it the old Skywalker dude, Stormtrooper dude? Where did this come from? Because it didn't just come out of nowhere. So could it be a grooming situation, or did she just watch so much pop culture she learned enough about it from True Blood that she decided it's what she wanted to do? I don't know. The jury's still out on that.
I think she was going to these conventions and doing cosplay and stuff like that. So she just kind of maybe.
Well, and another thing, guys, another word, hypersexuality. She had a very vivid imagination, and she used that imagination, I believe, to create these different sexual personas because of her hypersexuality.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you look at Nick, his sexual tendencies and the way that he speaks about sex, while he still thinks that he is this divine master bullshit, he has a very warped sense of what that actually means. Okay, I've dabbled. I know things. I know people who know things. Okay, there's nothing wrong with a little butt spanking and hair pulling once in a while. Okay, spice up your bedroom. But his way of being a dominant, especially from what you
even think he's dominant.
Where she's telling him when and how he can be dominant or not dominant. That's not the same thing. That's not even a switch. That would be a coercion from your actual, master, or mistress, whatever you want to say. So, here's the thing. Like, I just wonder, like, his still thought process on this is very juvenile. He tries to be mature about it. He tries to be like, I am the one in charge. No, you're not.
He never was in charge, even when it came down to the murder.
No, he wasn't in charge with Dawn either. And I believe that Dawn was working with Christy and Gypsy at that time to send those emails to him to incite things back from him so they could continue to further the situation of he's the worst person on fucking earth. So when she came out, she'd be the golden child and he'd be the fucking piranha. She's so calculating. It's not funny.
I know.
Nothing
I'm gonna
dance with them.
I'm gonna push play on this because it's kind of long.
Yeah. Good.
Oh my God. On the subject of love, for example, she instructed him, if you love me, you will do this. If you love me, you will do that. The instruction videos, wow. I'm just like, oh my God. Wait, I can't wait till the actual evidence is released. Ooh.
Now, see, I still think this is the same Dr. W because I think that he wasn't allowed to talk about these things in the first trial. He wasn't allowed to. I think that's what they're bringing up here. So I'm still thinking it's the same Dr. W, but I don't know. We'll have to see. Dr. W Post, his last name is Post. Or no, Dr. W Post Conviction Hearing. Sorry, I was reading that wrong. Okay, we'll figure it out. I'll figure it out.
The instruction videos demonstrated how to stab somebody. Was I on mute because I was talking? What did you think I was ignoring you? Yeah, it says post. Was I on mute when I said post?
No, I couldn't hear you though. You probably were cutting out.
I think I was on mute. Yeah, I was wrong. It says post conviction hearing. So, whatever that is. They were instruction videos that told him what the rewards would be for appropriate behavior. And they were instructional videos that told him what the punishment would be for behavior that the person did not like. It was a process of shaping a person who had social deficits into action of some form that would demonstrate his love for her. Gypsy, you are twisted. You are so gross. What you did to this kid is so disgusting. You sick, twisted, dementia.
And he really did have the mind of a kid.
Yeah, I said it. I said it.
I mean, really, with him having the mind and the development of a child and her grooming him, I mean, this really gets into so much perversion and almost on a molestation level.
Oh, this is just so creepy, shitty, gross. I don't have the time to listen to a whole 20 more minutes.
Yeah, it's long, but definitely check that out.
For some reason, I don't think I have this document. Starlight, will you send the document?
Yeah, let me figure out. I'm sure I have it saved on my computer somewhere.
Okay, because I have so many of them. I could have actually lost it in the process of the different appeals.
There's so much.
Because I did not do this.
Now, Starlight, I wanted to ask you a question, and then I'm going to bounce off here. If you guys want to keep going without me, that's fine. It's been a long week, but I wanted to talk about the Mother's Day video. We keep trying to go back to it, and we get distracted by all the other crazy crap she's done. But what did you feel about the Mother's Day video? Because I saw a meanness in her that I have not seen before, that has just emerged in the last 2 weeks since she got with Ken. And I brought it to Fancy's attention 2 weeks ago, and I asked her, what is this shift in her attitude? Why is she being straight up mean now? And Fancy told me that Ken brings out the worst in her, and this is a pattern. So I wanted to hear your thoughts about the Mother's Day video, and then I'm going to get off here.
Well, it definitely stood out to me that she's like, I don't give a shit, popping her head around and all that. And, she went into, like it was almost everything but a Mother's Day video. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it was all about me. It was all about me. It was all about me. Yeah.
I mean, the attitude, yes, like acting like this gangster mean attitude at the beginning and being so
Christy brings it out in her too. I think
she does. She does.
Mm-hmm.
Christy feeds it.
And I really think that she is so jealous of Mia. I truly I worry for Mia.
Well, that's what Christy got pissed at me for saying. I mean, Mia called me out on it for saying to them after she called me and said to me, the last person who got in my May is dead. And she was threatening my life over Ken. Okay, I call Christy Blanchard and I tell her, your daughter just freaking threatened my life. And I'm very concerned for you and Mia's safety. You guys are going to have to come to the realization at some point, Christy, that she is a fucking murderer. And she is capable of doing it again. And when Mia, has her big moment of getting married or whatever, and daddy's doting on her, she's gonna snap the fuck out.
Yeah. And Mia, well, Gypsy said in her prison confession lifetime thing that she was jealous of Mia and all that stuff.
I think
and then I noticed that, like, Mia's doing a little bit more on her TikTok, like she's doing get ready with me's, and then all of a sudden Gypsy is. And then Mia, like, she's got a nice body. Okay. She posted a picture of herself. She went to the beach with, I guess, her boyfriend or whatever. And she's got on a tiny little bathing suit, and you can see her tuchus.
Yes, I saw the picture where she's sticking her butt out.
Yes, but Gypsy reposted it, and I just, of all the things that she's posted, that I think she's, jealous of how Mia looks. Mia's tall, she just is better looking. And I think Gypsy is a very, like, sometimes I wonder if she was jealous of Dee Dee.
I don't know, but back to the Mother's Day video. What did you think when she said? What do you think when she said it doesn't go unnoticed that my own biological mother's not here?
That was a weird way to put that statement. Like, there's somebody, she should have wrote it down before she went live. I mean, not live, before she recorded that, but
I
heard that, I was like, okay, I need to screen record this. I haven't even watched the rest of it, but I know it's going to be a doozy. It's bizarre.
Right.
You would think she would throw in maybe some good things that her mother did. Like, she didn't honor her in any way, shape, or form.
She gave no thanks to her mother-in-law either, Ryan's mother, who's been with her for the last 3 years.
I don't think she gets along with her.
Oh, she said they loved her and she loved them. I mean, she's
those prison emails that came out where she's talking about wanting an annulment and talking about how she doesn't feel accepted by Ryan's family, it tells me a little different.
Well, but it's Gypsy, though. She's got to be the victim. So I don't know if I believe that, but I was just very taken aback that she even made that comment. I think the entire post was tacky. It never should have been posted. When you have been, convicted and pled guilty to the murder of your mother, I don't think Mother's Day is the day to talk about moms. And saying it, I was cracking up at the responses people have been making about it, where she said, like, it doesn't go unnoticed, whatever, that my biological mother's not here. And people were like, yeah, we noticed because bitch, you killed your mother.
Did y'all see Alexis Oakley's comment section? That was fucking hilarious.
I can't with her.
I don't like her whatsoever, but her comment section is fucking hilarious.
The comments are gold. The comments are gold. The comments on Breeze are gold too. They're hilarious and how ridiculous she is with defending her. And these people come in there and they're just like, they just slam the shit out of her. It's I've never seen it's great.
So Starlight, what did you think about?
Wait. Swanee.
Oh, sorry.
Brought up this. Maybe Dan was flirting with Dee Dee. I have heard that rumor very many times, and I think it could have absolutely been true.
Wow. I apologize because we're having so much sound problems. I don't want to.
Sarah, are you using Bluetooth?
No.
Really? Are you on a phone?
Yes.
Yes, he's on the phone.
and you're not using
StreamYard doesn't
Bluetooth?
work great
Okay.
with phones. It really doesn't.
No, but
It-
usually it's bad with if you're using like Bluetooth headphones, makes it worse.
Yeah.
No,
so-
I am not. But
Okay.
StreamYard also doesn't work very well with Androids, and I have a Samsung.
Okay, there you go. There you go.
So I apologize again for talking
apologize.
over anyone.
Just go on.
But I was going to ask you, so I'm sure you've kept up this past week, what we went through with the Sarah Jane Anderson suicide hoax and the porn prank.
Yes. Wait, the porn. Oh, yes, all that. Yes.
It's
about
been that's it. I'm sure your viewers have made comments about it, and I just wondered what your
I
opinion
saw it
was.
go down.
Oh,
Well, I
it's
didn't.
very
Well, I didn't see the
serious.
porn thing. I saw the fake suicide thing, and that's really fucked up. And it was really fucked up that Bree just took it and ran with it and wanted to preach it as a fact. And Ryan, of all people, had to correct her ass.
Right.
Like, that is very defamatory and
Defamatory.
dangerous.
Yeah,
to do.
it's illegal, and then the porn prank. Do you know that they are playing that on Twitter uncensored right now?
Look, I've seen people put straight up porn on Twitter, so I'm not shocked.
I'm not either.
I'm just waiting
my
for
family
a knock on the door.
No, I don't know if that was just a random troll. I've been porn bombed. Like, it happens a lot here. So you just have to be super careful. I don't know if that was
I
sent
don't
by
think it was. I do not think it was coincidental.
Did they hold their phone up to the screen, Fancy? Because I haven't seen the clip myself. Like, or did they just it looked like they turned their camera on and that's what it was?
That's what it was.
Okay, they're using OBS.
So their picture was there. Their picture was there. They took the picture from
and turned on their camera pretty much. You know what OBS is, right?
I know what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what they're doing is somehow I've seen people, I know a lot of trolls and I've seen them do that. So just be careful.
I am. I'm well aware now. Well, my family just walked in, guys, and it's well past our 10 o'clock cutoff. So let's head out of here tonight. Thank you for tuning in and dishing true crime with the good wife, serving up true crime one dish at a time. Make sure you follow us. And make sure you go follow Hello Starlight. She's amazing. She's been a real bringing forward different things. She's the one who brought my attention to the press conference from Sheriff Arnott. And I'm telling you guys, if you have not seen our press conference coverage and the missing footage coverage that we had out last week, you definitely need to go watch all of that.
Can I toot your horn for a minute?
Yes, ma'am.
I want to toot your horn for a minute. So when I met Fancy, it was under different circumstances because I was, wanting to know all this stuff about Natasha. But from the get-go, like, I didn't even know like all these names, and you were telling me about this person and how this happened to you and this happened to you and this happened to you. And you did that on your TikTok as well. And all these people wanted to call you crazy. And never once did I ever think that. I never thought that. And Fancy's story has never changed. And if anything, we have seen what she says happened to her happen to other people on here. So I'm glad that you are finally getting validation for everything you've done, all the work you've done, all the time you have put in this. People try to knock you down, and now look where you're at. You're on top right now.
Well, somebody said it to me the other day, and I don't remember who I was watching, but I was like, now you've got me fucking crying, because they were talking about this exact thing. And I put in the chat to my mods and Sarah and everybody, and I said, it just feels so different because I feel so validated. And then I was right. And I was recording something last night, and what I said was the chromosome disorder was the missing piece, and it gave me peace.
Yes.
Because I was bothered because I couldn't figure it out. I was bothered because I knew it was smacking me in the face and I didn't know what it was. And I am a dog with like a bone when that happens. Like, I have to know, I have to understand. And so I went through hell for this to get here, but this is mine and Colleen's discovery. It is our research, our work that all of you have out there. You know, even the stuff on Reddit that you find and you're like, oh, this is from Reddit. That was from us. It was put out by us. If it has a by proxy logo on it, it's ours. We are responsible for the truth in this story. I don't want to brag about it. It's not like I'm not
true, but it is true.
What I asked, though, you know, is that I would like to be able to lay the sword down. I want to do my books. I want to do my documentary. And the only other time I want to talk about her is in a setting where I'm educating people as to how this happened or what took place. I do not want to do this anymore. I don't want to report
you say that
every fucking day. I don't. I wanted the truth in this story. I have found the truth in this story. There's a few things I'm still working on, but I found peace. And I'm telling you, the moment Colleen gave me the results to the chromosome disorder, I had asked her for it for weeks. She had finally found it in an aha moment after my aha moment. I'm telling you, in that moment, my whole body just went, peace.
I bet it was like, yeah.
That was it.
The light, like, yeah.
And then while this is happening, you know, the PR stunt is going down and I'm watching the world burn for all these people, Christy and Bree and Ryan and Brandy and everybody. I was just like, oh, God was really serious when he said, all right, you've been through enough.
Yep.
Because I don't know how I made it through.
Yeah.
To be honest, but it's like most of my life. I have survived things that no one else would be still standing with any level of sanity. And my friend told me that when I was 21, pregnant with my first child and didn't know what I was going to do. So I just thank you for acknowledging that. It meant a lot to me last night that Nina apologized to me and said she understood where
a lot
my
of people owe you an apology. A lot of people owe you an apology.
I mean, I was never crazy. I was driven to madness. But
and
when
it clicked for you, when it clicked for you about Nick, and that, remember when it clicked and you were like, oh my God, I was wrong. Yeah. It took you a long time.
I had a full mental
I remember.
And people made fun of me for it. But what that was okay. I've explained that's part of my creative process is that mania. It's basically me reconciling every tab that I have open in my head about this one thing. And when I do it, it puts everything literally into the spots that I need. And I can see the things I'm missing in that moment. And I was doing that and it was fine until I got to the point where I realized what I had played a part in.
Right.
And villainizing Nicholas. In such a horrible way. I was mean. I was not who I normally am. I didn't approach the case the way I would normally look at something. And I just crucified him on nothing more than their word. And then Dawn came in right behind and convinced me how horrible he was with those fucking crazy ass emails. And I couldn't see the forest through the trees. And when I started seeing that they were lying and all of those things, my opinions began to change on Nicholas, but it really was going back to school. And Amanda came in 2023 and was like, you're going back to school right now. And I was like, I don't want to do this again, Amanda. I'm not going to finish. It's never going to happen. And she's like, no, you're going to do this. And I'm going to finish this year or next year early. I have to figure out, I have to do like 4 more classes. But it was through that process that I began to understand Nick in a totally different way. And then when I began to see my notes over the case file that I hadn't seen in 8 years, it was an epiphany. And that moment was an absolute crash for me in realizing, oh, I took part in this too, and I need to take responsibility for the part that I played.
Yeah. Yep. It's been an adventure for you, and I think it's going to pay off.
I do too.
I mean, the truth is getting out.
I was just talking to Colleen about that today, and it was so funny because when the whole fallout with Ryan happened and it was terrible and it was horrible and being trashed, she came to me and she's like, maybe it's done. maybe we did our podcast, we did our 2 years, and we walk away. We don't have Christina anymore. I'm tired. You're tired. Maybe it's time. And I said, absolutely fucking not. I am not going out like this. Ryan Lee and Christy fucking Blanchard are not going to put me down under. It's not happening, Colleen. So if you have to walk away, you walk away to protect your family and your everything. But I'm going to tell you what, we're finishing this, and I expect you to finish it. You don't have to be in the public eye, but you better finish it with me, because this is your discovery. It is your right. You have been the one who has stood beside me through all of this, never, ever faltered, and always held your head with dignity and strength. And I'm not going to allow these people to destroy us. And she was like, okay, I'll stick for just a little bit longer, but I don't know how we're coming back from this. And I didn't either. But that's when Sarah and I really put our heads together and we started talking. And I was like, fuck it. I have changed so many fucking times. I have pivoted so many times. I have come back from every fucking thing they've ever tried to do. And I'm not going out like this. And I just put my head down and I worked again.
Yep.
You know,
And it
we walked
shows.
away from this case for 4 years for a reason. And we built a whole company while we did that. And I'm proud of that. Proud of
You
that.
should be.
All right. But anyway, I've got to go, guys. I
All
love you.
right. Thanks for having me up.
Appreciate you.
I love you. Take care of
Bye.
yourself.
You
Bye,
too, hon.
guys.
I know.